and a warm welcome to all our viewers. Myself Mubaraka, and I'm your host today in this discussion with Ms. Piya Marker. We also have with us today Mr. Kaushal Chheda, our co-founder and director. So we as a team represent the team of educators at iRobokid, and so ma'am, basically iRobokid, as you must be aware, is a educational institute in the specialized space of STEM and technology education, and we've been here for a decade now. So recently we've launched our newest platform called Pillars and Posts on our website futurelearning.iRobokid.com, and what we do here is not only post articles and blogs related to STEM education and latest news on that, but also we are hosting talks and interviews with eminent personalities in the field of education. So basically the intent here is to bring to the forefront, the silent pillars of our education system and give them the righteous credit and recognition for their, contribution to the education world. So, ma'am, with regards to that, we have you, Ms. Piya Marker, here today with us. So Ms. Piya Marker is a renowned educator. This is a small introduction that I can give. That there's lots to say, but I'll just keep it short. So she is very well known for her contribution towards special needs students' education. She started her career as a teacher, and she worked one-on-one with these special students. And very soon enough, she moved on to become the principal of India's first ever schools for students with learning disabilities. Today, she is the director at the Aditya Birla Institute of Education, and which is also a special school. She has been conferred various awards, which includes the Changemaker Award, the Women Achievers of India Acclaim 2020 Award, the Under 50 Indian Achievers 2020 edition. Also, under her guidance as the principal, the school has achieved awards like the #1 Special Needs School in India for the year 2020-21. Also, the #1 Individuals Attention to Schools Award, and that's all under her guidance. And also, this is all at a very young age, so it's really remarkable. Without further ado, let's call upon Ms. Piya Marker. So, ma'am, good afternoon, and thank you very much for giving us your time. It's really a pleasure and honor to share space with you here today. So I'm sure this discussion and your insights will be really helpful and encouraging and enriching to our viewers. So ma'am, as we know that you have done enough and a lot of contribution to special needs education. So we were just curious to know how and what motivated you to select education as a career, and moreover to take up a challenging role as a special educator. So if you can just share your journey with us.
Okay. So before I answer your questions, I want to thank you for having me here. Thank you, Mubaraka.
It's a pleasure,
thank you, Kaushal. My pleasure to be here. And the school that I'm the director of is the Aditya Birla Integrated School.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, I think when you interview people in this workspace, you often hear that, they've always been passionate about special needs. They've always wanted to do this since they were young, or they know somebody in their family, or they've had a driving force that led them into this profession. I think my story is very different, actually. I believe I'm Destiny's child in that sense, because I don't think I ever expected to be in this space. I'm a commerce graduate. Both my parents held corporate jobs, and I thought that that's the route I was going to take. And I interned in a couple of places, that my parents introduced me to, and I didn't enjoy that whole corporate environment. And I think literally by chance, I heard about the special education course. I had no idea what I was in for. And just out of curiosity, I went and signed up. Now, this is an all India degree course. And back in 1997, they had only 30 seats all India. I don't know what I said or did right, but I got into the course, and the rest is history. So genuinely, there's no, wonderful story or inspiring story about, why I got into this field, but I think I was meant to be here, and therefore here I am. That's what I believe. And I think once you start working with children with special needs, or actually with anybody, really, I mean, like you say, you could work with the most beautiful person ever, and after a point, you don't notice their beauty anymore, right? They're just people to you. Similarly, with children with special needs, you're not focusing on them being special needs. You don't look at them differently. You don't look at them as being, you don't feel sorry for them because they are like you and me. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. And as educators, we look for the strengths that help us overcome the weaknesses. So for us, they are just people like everybody else, and they need to be taught differently. So I look at special education not about being special needs in terms of children with special needs, but as educators who have special skills to teach. So that's the way I look at when I say I'm a special educator, that's what I mean. I mean, I've been trained to deliver academics or deliver strategies in a specialized way. And that's what makes me a special educator.
Right. That's amazing. And it's really modest of you to say that it's not inspiring, but actually, in a way, it's really inspiring because being a commerce graduate, you come into special education and you achieve such heights. So that's wonderful. So moving on, ma'am, recently we've seen that there is a shift towards, education, and it is now focusing on STEM and technology based education. So ma'am, how do you think STEM would play a major role in the life of these children, or any children, if you would, for that matter?
So actually, technology is something that, I'm ashamed to say, but technology is not a friend of mine. I'm intimidated by technology. I'm still very paper pencil as a person. But the reality of the world, and I think we've seen this in the last 20 months, that technology is our greatest support and ally, right? So I think that is very, very important. And that is what the need of the hour is. It just makes things more efficient. It makes you think differently. And I think that's what is important for the current generation and the future generations. So I think there's a lot of importance to STEM and technology and robotics, all put together, because that is the future of where we are headed.
Right. So I think it's really commendable that even though you are a paper pencil person, you really had that farsightedness. And way back in 2016, under your guidance, TABIS included STEM and technology for your students. So wonderful.
Maybe as a team or as educators or as adults, maybe that was not something, maybe we are afraid of technology because we've not really been exposed to it.
Right.
But there are things like in the last 20 months being at home, there is no secretary to do my work and there is no office to do something. So I've literally had to learn how to do everything by myself. And the people who taught me have been my 8-year-old and my 10-year-old kid at home. Because it just comes naturally to them, right? It's just something that it's a part of their DNA today.
Yeah, so, they are born in the technology era, actually. Exactly. They've not seen a day without technology.
Us having taken on iRobokid in the school in 2016 was just recognizing that it is what is the need of the hour. It's where this generation is headed. And I'm so glad we did, because it's been a beautiful journey for our students.
Thank you so much. We are proud as well to be part of your school. So ma'am, moving on, you were recently conferred with the Women Achievers of India Award. And many congratulations firstly for that. So we just was wanting to know that in addition to already so many responsibilities that you're shouldering at school, how do you manage to bag these additional awards also?
So like I said, I mean, genuinely, I'm not trying to be humble or not trying to say the correct words. It's the truth. I don't know. Okay, there's like I said, I'm Destiny's child. Probably I'm doing something. I mean, I do know that I'm doing something right. Like I said, that I enjoy what I do and it comes to me so naturally. So I think that anybody who watches, sometimes people who watch me work, they feel like I don't do any work because it seems very easy and effortless. And genuinely, I sometimes feel like that because I love what I'm doing. And it's a very natural part or organic part of me as a person and in terms of a process. So I think somebody who observes me work or who knows the kind of work I do gets probably impressed by that, and therefore. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I'm saying or doing right, but I know I'm doing something right. So
yeah, so that's true. Something that you enjoy, you definitely excel in that. So I think women like you are really role models to young children out there who dare to dream big, and your achievements and passion give them the power to dream big. So yeah. I think sir would also want to add to the discussion with a few questions for you, if sir can join in. So
yeah, thank you so much, Mubaraka. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Actually, I'm also a commerce graduate, so I completely empathize because I'm co-founded a STEM education company, but being a commerce graduate, I understand where you come from. I actually had another question, more related to really liked it how you said that we are educators with special skills rather than children with special needs. I mean, I don't think anybody could have put it more eloquently. What advice do you have for parents? Because I think the biggest hesitancy or maybe a little bit of ignorance comes from parents when they sort of don't recognize that this is just a special need. And, because I have a couple of friends and, I understand that their children need a little bit more attention compared to any other, the other children. But I think there's a little bit more, I don't know if ignorance is the right word, but, is maybe some hesitancy. Can you maybe give some words of advice or guidance to parents who would probably be reading this or listening to this on this?
Sure. So to begin with, I think the advice I would have given 10 years ago was very different. And when I became a parent myself, I see things very differently. And I think that as a parent, it's very hard when your child is not able to do something or you see your child struggle with something. It becomes very difficult to accept. So I don't think it is about being, ignorant about it. I think it's just important to accept that your child, that no human being actually is 100% perfect in every way. Everybody comes with their strengths and weaknesses. And for some people, unfortunately, some weaknesses are more apparent to others, right? So you can't hide it. And I think that's where the embarrassment or the awkwardness comes in. So what I would like to say to every parent out there is treat your child's difficulties as simple as needing prescription glasses. If your child can't see, you will go and get a pair of glasses, right? You're not going to say, no, you managed to see, because the world doesn't need to know that you have a number. So the same way, if your child is having difficulty with reading, writing, math, sitting tolerance, whatever the problem may be, address it. There are loads of specialists out there today, people who are more than equipped to help your child sail through the academic process positively, happily, and with their self-esteem and confidence intact. So if you're keeping your child in a school that is not suitable to your child, it could be the best school for everybody else, but may not be the right school for your child. It's important to make that decision in the best interest of your child. So I think that's really important to recognize. And as a parent, any weakness our child has, we want to run in and help them. So why is it that we don't want to recognize this?
Absolutely.
Okay, and nobody thinks anything less of your child or of you if your child has a problem. We all have problems, but we just have to figure out where the solutions lie and go after them. So there are multiple solutions today. So I really request all those watching, please don't deny your child the help, and you yourself will feel a sense of relief when you see your child performing better.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was so wonderfully put. I'm sure a lot of parents will be, will take this, with the right spirit and, give the children the due attention they need. One other question is there enough being done from the government, or can more be done, across curriculums, across boards? Because a lot of this kind of attention is given to, probably the higher end children, or am I right in saying that, or can more be done? I'm sure more can be done, but any suggestions?
Kaushal, more can always be done.
Right.
Okay, there's no such thing as the end when it comes to any kind of service that you are providing.
Right.
But in all fairness, to the government or to any other organization, that our population is just so large that literacy in itself is a challenge. Absolutely. So when you're trying to have a population which is not all literate, special needs is the last on everybody's mind. You're trying to get literacy as a bare minimum in the country. So right. While it would be great, and in an idealistic world, you feel like, yes, the government should do something, honestly, I'm sure the numbers are overwhelming for them. And therefore, there are quite a few and enough of people who have, the foresight or the passion, like Mrs. Nirja Birla herself, or like any other, people who have founded special needs schools to help. So I think at this point in time, people in the private sector are doing their bit. I think it needs to start now percolating to the villages or, to the smaller towns, because there are a lot of schools and resources in the larger cities and the metropolis. But I think the struggle is in the villages and in the smaller towns. But I think the main problem is really awareness. The first thing is to spread awareness and to break myths around special needs. So the minute people are aware, it does not matter which strata of society you come from. If a parent, whether you live in a village or you live in a, tier 3 city, or you live in a fancy city, or wherever it is that you live, you can identify that my child has this gap in learning and I need to seek help, we start winning the battles there. So I think spreading awareness is the first way to go. And I think that's the only way to go at this point in time. And then as people get aware, people are going to be interested and want to train themselves to help children. So even as in a village school, I'm sure there will be a teacher who will be able to make a change, got our heart and the head in the right place.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I hope, maybe something like this will help spread the awareness. And also, I really completely agree with you. In COVID, we always said, there's India and there is Bharat. Because in India, we see kids having couple of devices to, use, and we are connected with some schools which are in, even in just outside Bombay, and we have 5 children using one smartphone on speaker to learn. So the divide really became stark in the last couple of years. But I think what you said really makes sense, that it should percolate down towards more towards the non tier 1 cities, and that will really great. One last question from my side, and this is a little bit more on the personal side, is STEM education is really, everybody can see it, and it's becoming more and more important. We as an organization really face a challenge in getting more girls to come and learn STEM education. And I will not name the school, but there is a school where it's an all-girls school, and we said, we'll do it for free. We don't take money, just send the kids to come and learn. But the response was still very, very lackluster. So we always are wondering, I mean, why? What more can we do? It's not money, because they're offering it for free. What more can we do to get more girls at an early age come and learn STEM education and become a part of this huge drive?
So I think you would need to get to be honest, a buy-in from the school, where they put this into the school program, because there are certain things and stereotypes, like when you say police officer, you immediately think of a man. When you say nurse, you think of a woman, and those stereotypes are what we're trying to break. So you often think that this is the kind of field that boys like. Girls like a different kind of field. So that perception is there. But if it is a part of a curriculum, or if you can bring it into a school where there is a buy-in from the management, where they understand the relevance of what you all are trying to do, and they put it into their curriculum, even as a pilot, or for a year, like you said, you're offering it for free. So it's just a matter of putting it into their timetable, offering it to all the girls, and then you will have a population of children who are inclined to this, because everybody's brains are wired differently. So that's a suggestion that I could give you.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just a question of the culture changing, and maybe slowly be at it, and hopefully one day we will also break some ceilings. Yeah. Okay, finally, just some message for the students who are listening to you, because they have had the maximum shift, moving completely online. Now it's hybrid, and I think a little bit of social awkwardness is going to come when they go, because some kids, probably grade 1 and 2, haven't been to school at all since they started school. A small message to them, how do they sort of keep their motivation up, and how do they sort of be inspired?
Okay, so online schooling has its pros and cons. I mean, there are a lot of things that children are going to miss about online school when they go back to physical school, and a lot of things about physical school that they're missing here at home. Right. So I think as people, if we are ready to embrace changes that come along our way, it becomes easier for us. And for students, I feel in particular, children are extremely resilient. The way that they adjusted to the online, it may take a little while, but I think they'll go back to, they take to the offline school as comfortably. Yes, like you said, for some children, socialization has not taken place. Even for preschool children, they've never stepped out of their home or seen a teacher or a school environment. So it will take time. It will take a fair amount of understanding from a school's point of view to slowly bring the children back in, make them comfortable, in this new environment. But I have no doubt that it will be seamless. So for all the students who are dying to go back to school, I just want to say that hang in there. Every day you're one day closer to going back to school. And yeah, so it's going to happen sooner rather than later for everybody. There's no way this virus is going to last forever. So we're all going to have to learn to live with it for as long as it takes for us to overcome it. So it should be all right.
Right. Yeah. Keep the faith and hang in there. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all from me. Mubaraka, do you want to add anything?
No,
I just also wanted to share with you all that recently I did start blogging on an Instagram page, which is focused on helping people in terms of either mental health or special needs or just parenting in general. So if you do have, parents who you feel would benefit from, reading the articles that I write, they're very simple, short reads. They're just, sometimes just tips, tricks, educational messages, mental health awareness.
Awesome.
You could spread the word and.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we will definitely put the Instagram handle down so that, anybody who is reading it, and also if you can say the handle here, it would be great. So anybody.
Piya Marker.
Piya Marker. Okay, great. Absolutely. So all those parents, children who are watching this, make sure you go on this Instagram handle. I'm sure there's a lot you can benefit from here. There's 25 years plus of experience in one blog. There's nothing to lose. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mubaraka. Over to you.
Yeah, I think that was a wonderful, enriching time spent with ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time, and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.